Hello and welcome to this special broadcast right from Colombo. Well, Sri Lanka indeed has faced the deadliest ever terror attack on the day of Easter. But now, what is the way forward for Sri Lanka? How is Sri Lanka looking as to moving ahead from this deadly attack and recovering from this crisis? To talk more on that, I am joined by the Sri Lankan Prime Minister, Ranil Wickremesinghe. So thank you for joining us on the Doordarshan Network, first of all. I would like to understand, this is indeed an hour of grief for Sri Lanka. But did you ever expect that this kind of jihadi terrorist activity or this kind of terror will struck Sri Lanka?
I didn't, and certainly I didn't expect it to be on this scale, that there would be terror on this scale in this country, or for that matter to see jihadi terrorism in Sri Lanka. I was shocked by it.
Also, you had the intelligence, you were provided with the intelligence. How did you act on that part, sir?
Well, the intelligence that was given was sent by the Defence Ministry, and it was sent down to the police and to the subordinate divisions. So they were all aware of the intelligence, many of them had the full report. But apparently this seems to have caught them by surprise. I don't know why, because there are about 2 or 3 warnings that were sent, and this is what we are investigating, that is being inquired into now.
Okay. So how has India helped so far as this entire unfortunate events are concerned? How has India helped you so far, sir?
Well, India gave us that information. We are thankful that unfortunately we didn't act on it. We have been exchanging information for some time, and there's more discussion going on between us and India.
Also, sir, over here we would like to understand from you, what are the immediate challenges in front of you? Because there are a lot of things happening. The economy, the tourism primarily is on a tailwind as of now. So what are the immediate challenges as of now? How do you see it?
No, first is terrorism.
Okay.
Well, we have had terrorism which was domestic, came in from Sri Lanka, one of the worst groups, the LTT. Secondly, what we face now is a part of the jihadi international terrorist campaign. So we've got to face up to it. Here we see a small group of people, unlike LTT with a large group. It was mainly involved in guerrilla and conventional fighting. The explosives were only suicide, one of the sort of support group. On the other hand, here this group relies completely on this type of suicide missions. So we've got to adjust to it, the fact that may have had some international connections. But on the other hand, the bright side is that a reconciliation had worked, and there was no communal backlash. People have held together. The Christians, the Muslims, all have worked together. And we have to build on this and at the same time eliminate the terror. Far as tourism, as economy is concerned, we are worried. Of course, for tourism, May was the beginning of the lean season. But we have to resolve it so that people will come back by August when the tourist season begins. But of course our earnings will not be as high as we anticipated. There will have to be concessions, cut rate prices given in. If we sort this out by then, I am sure tourism will get back. A lot of investments are being held back. We will only know in the next few weeks how people will react, and they will react according to whatever success we have.
But also we would like to know over here that a lot of global media is here, the people, the global world, globally everybody is watching you right now. How will you exude confidence amongst the tourism, the business community, the hotel industry over here? Because from 1st of May, what we are learning that visa on arrival facility was also supposed to be given. So how do you exude confidence amongst all these global communities?
As I said, as we go ahead making investigations, then as we make progress, that gets known, because after all, it's not only Sri Lanka, there are other other agencies, police agencies that are involved helping us, and that progress itself will give the confidence that is required.
What's the status in Sri Lanka as of now? Can we say the normalcy is returning, or it will still take a lot of time? Because a lot of people we met over here in Colombo, they are expecting that when there will be a normalcy, they are fearful, they are scared as of now. So what Prime Minister has to say, when can we expect normalcy?
Normalcy will start returning, gradually it will come back to normalcy. The one thing is that there have been no communal, ethnic, religious clashes. Secondly, this is not the first time we've gone through it. From 1983 we've seen it, we've gone up, we've gone down, we've gone up. So the system will adjust to itself. I'm only worried firstly about the spread of jihadi terrorism. So if we can stop this now, root it out, then it's only a question of being on the alert for any other attacks. And secondly is how the economy will react in the coming few months.
You talked about jihadi terrorists at this point in time, but how do you plan to combat this kind of new phenomena, that is jihadi terrorism, which is taking place as of now? So is there any kind of strategy which the government is making as of now as far as combating this jihadi terrorism? Because India is also facing same kind of problems as far as terrorism is concerned from the cross-border. How do you look at it, sir?
No, we are adjusting ourselves to this. Of course, fortunately, vast number of Muslims are Sri Lankans, like the rest of us, and they just won't support it. But there's a minority. Everywhere there's a minority being led. So that's one, is that this group of terrorists has no grassroots support.
Why Sri Lanka stuck? I mean, people want to know that. Why Sri Lanka? I mean, what went wrong? How do you explain to it, sir?
I do not know why. It may be that these people seem to have made their first connections in Australia and UK together with one of the local hate preachers. So there may be events, more the global events influence them than more Sri Lankan events.
Also, sir, we have seen that a lot of extremist group giving speeches. The speeches are very much strong in nature. So is there a law which you're primarily promulgating as of now in order to stop these kind of hate speeches or extremist ideology which is being propagated as of now? So how do you look at it as far as combating these kind of ideologies or hate speeches which is being propagating in Sri Lanka?
Actually, we have the ICCPR Act, which puts the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights. So under that, anyone who makes speeches which may as responsible for communal disharmony can be taken, arrested, detained and prosecuted. Yes. But we have to now have a better law which also takes into account not merely extremism, but extremism which leads to violence. Extreme speeches have been there in our part of the world. It's now extreme speeches that lead to violence.
Okay. So also, sir, India has been raising the issue of terrorism on global multilateral forums like G20, UN. Now, since Sri Lanka has also again been the victim of terrorism, will you be raising all these issues on the global forum? Of course, as far as the UN is concerned, and will you be walking along with the victim countries like India, which are also facing terrorism as of now, sir?
We have been sharing intelligence on the ISS and others with other countries, so that we become a target. We'll also go along with them to eradicate these terror tactics in the world.
And also, when we try to understand that 1 week Sri Lanka, primarily Colombo, or what we've seen, the blast of the yesterday, will be completing 1 week. What are your emotions as of now? Because people in Colombo, people in Sri Lanka primarily looking up to you that now what will be the next step of Mr. Prime Minister as far as combating terrorism is concerned. What are your emotions as of now, first of all, because you are taking a lot of meetings are going on, a lot of activities are taking place. So what is going in your mind as of now when it comes to Sri Lanka, sir?
How to have stability and how we eradicate this terrorism. Like everyone else, I was angry, I was shocked, I was full of grief. But emotions are one thing. You have to remember that you are tasked to do, and if you didn't perform it immediately, you would have all slipped and suffered more. So we, at the end of the day, I thought, let's immerse ourselves in the task of certainly finding the perpetrators and ensuring that this does not spread, and tackling the economy, ensuring day-to-day life returns, and we are very happy that in fact communal harmony was intact in Sri Lanka.
So you are again and again highlighting this point that communal harmony is intact. Do you think this is your strength of the Sri Lanka, that communal harmony is intact, or do you think there are chances, because we can see some kind of fearfulness or a scare as far as the Sri Lankan people are concerned? So do you think there can be some kind of backlash or clashes can take place in some time over here?
Generally, backlashes would have taken place earlier, but let's keep our fingers crossed and hope there are no more explosions.
Okay, but we also know that there are IS link over here, the foreign links as well. The funding was done from the foreign countries. How do you expose the terrorism which is coming from other countries? How will you, going forward, expose these countries who are, giving books to terrorism in other regions?
Whatever we find, we will let the people know. At the moment, we have asked for foreign help to look at the links abroad, the foreign links of this group.
Okay, we have seen the CCTV footages as well, the youngsters, the people who could have become the future doctors, engineers, they were radicalized at this moment. What message primarily you would like to give to the people of Sri Lanka that these kind of radicalization is taking place over here? So what message would you like to give to the people of Sri Lanka as of now, sir?
I would tell the people of Sri Lanka, we are making progress in apprehending the perpetrators. The security forces are at it. I must commend them. Certainly, there can be different ideologies, radical ideologies, but there can be radicalization that leads to violence. We will certainly take measures to combat that legally and otherwise.
We always learn lessons from whatever has happened. What lessons the Sri Lankan government or Sri Lanka has learned from this unfortunate series?
You have to be prepared and act on the information you have.
And also, we have seen, as we talked earlier, that intelligence was shared, but it was unfortunately ignored. How do you try to reform this entire part of, the agencies, the intelligence input? How do you plan to reform this entire structure?
The agencies are functioning, I must say. We have about 7 intelligence agencies. They are all functioning. And it's now getting a better coordination between the intelligence and the actual execution of that information by the other agencies. So that's where we have to really strengthen.
All right, I must tell, a great work being done, and we're really happy that Sri Lanka is gradually recovering. Although Sri Lanka is cautious as of now, but under leadership it seems that Sri Lanka is gradually recovering, but yes, being cautious. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ranil Wickramasinghe, for talking to Doordarshan News. So the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka clearly saying that it will do everything possible in order to bring Sri Lanka back on the track, and it will be again a high point as far as the economy is concerned. With camera person S. Shankar, Arun Sharma, Doordarshan News, Colombo.